Hello, Bill Schierl here, co-CEO of Team Schierl Companies and Schierl Tire and Service, and today we're in Marshfield with Matt again. And you know, we're moving into the colder winter months, so what happens? It gets darker more often, unfortunately. So lights and the use of lights become more important. So can you tell us a little about headlights, fog lights, and all the things about lights?
Sure, I'd absolutely love to. Starting off, we'll start with fog lights.
Okay.
So most vehicles have fog lights. Some base models and stuff don't have them. If you do have them available, you can usually turn them on. There's a button somewhere on the left-hand side of the wheel or on the blinker. Somewhere there, you can find them as well. It might be just a little switching turn forward. Otherwise, if you don't have one, probably don't have fog lights. You can always look in the front of the vehicle. You will see the fog light lens housing in most vehicles. If it's not there, just don't have
Somewhere in the bumper.
Correct, in the lower part of the bumper.
And if I don't have them, for the most part, I'm just going to use my headlights, and the thing not to do in any type of fog or whatever is to turn my high beams.
Correct.
Because then it gets right back at you.
Exactly. It just reflects off of it at that point. And at least when you have your low beams on, you can see the lines on the road.
Perfect. So what other type of maintenance things should I even be looking for when I'm driving around to prevent problems with my lights?
Another big thing is to look at your lenses. Okay. If any moisture is building up in there, it will cause accelerated failure of your bulbs.
Right.
Just because it gets hotter in there, the moisture doesn't allow any air movement and just makes it hotter, makes the filament fail. So that's one thing. Other things that can be done when we replace bulbs, or if you're replacing them at home, you can grab some dielectric grease or some silicone
What
paste.
was that kind of grease?
Dielectric.
Dielectric, okay.
Yep. And you can put that in the connector, and what that's going to do is going to prevent corrosion from building up in the connector for the bulb.
Fantastic. So as a preventative, I don't have any problems, and I just am having a routine check. I could just have some dielectric grease added to my connectors for my headlamps.
Correct.
Awesome. That's a great thing.
It works for all bulbs, so any of your reverse lights, backup lights, brake lights, anything like that, you can put it in the connectors.
That sounds great. Well, thank you for those good tips. Is there anything more that we should talk about or think about for our lights? Hey, if they're working.
Exactly, that they're working. One thing I always have a rule of thumb, if you're pulling up to your garage door, just shine your brights on and look at your low beams. You can always see the individual beams on the door. So there's that, and when you get out, when you lock your vehicle, you can do a walk around, and sometimes it flashes some of the bulbs. You can see if those are working. Otherwise, you come in by us for oil changes. We always check all of those.
And what about direction? I mean, sometimes, back in the old days, and I don't know if that even happens anymore, like a beam starts to go off to the side of the road.
It's not too often that you see them starting to work themselves out of alignment,
okay.
But that is a thing. We can align headlights.
Mm-hmm.
So if that ever happens to you where you're noticing it, that it's over too far, up too high, down too low, you can take a look at it.
Fantastic. Thanks, Matt, for all this information about, unfortunately, as it's getting darker, good use of headlights.
We definitely need to use those.
Definitely. See you next time.